Really, Nisan is not a time of hesped, but it's not a hesped to Menachem. This week's parsha, we have in Chodesh Nisan two of the holiest neshamas in Kal Yisrael up to Shemayim, when Aharon's children, Nadav Avihu, Kroi Vayakodesh, the holy neshamas of Nadav Avihu, and Moshe Rabbeinu said those neshamas are the holiest neshamas that Kal Yisrael had, more than anyone, more than Moshe and Aharon. And those neshamas ascended to Shemayim, Chol Beis Yisrael Yifku as a Sreifa Hashem. We were privileged, Shul, Camp Aguda, Kal Yisrael was privileged, Toronto was privileged to have a holy neshama with us. Neshama Tahira, a pure neshama, like Ben Ishchai writes, there's neshamas who come down to this world who can't do any averas. They're pure neshamas. They're pure neshamas. Because an issue is to stand up for these neshamas. The neshamas who come up to Shemayim to be mezaka us. Chol Beis Yisrael Yifku es Asreifes Ashor es Hashem. And Aharon lost those two children, Vayidai Maharon. He knew that Rabbi Shalom, Hashem Nosam, Hashem Lokach. You have a holy neshama that passed away in this world. The Mises Neshika Mamish Masik, no Tsar, no Yisurim. The Mises Neshika on Shabbos Kodesh, on Shabbos Leil, Shabbos Kodesh. I was still Zoicha, as chus that I had, that he still said Good Shabbos to me Friday night. As chus, such a holy neshama saying Good Shabbos. Seeing such a neshama every time I met him, you see a pure neshama. The neshamas that Rabbi Hashem puts down. We know we're going to say tonight the Agadah connected Arba Abanim Dibra Torah. The Torah says there's 4 types of children. One child, She'eni Yedei Elisha. It's connected. The Torah speaks about that child. She'eni Yedei Elisha. She'eni Yedei Elisha. At Pesach Lo, you, the parents, Moshe and Risa were an example of what it means when Rabbi Hashem gives such a holy neshama for years and years, what they did for Menachem, and everything that he was succeeded in, everything that he did in Oila and the Kedusha, and he loved davening, he loved saying brachas, he loved anything, trying to avoid, but at Pesachla, you, the Rabbi Hashem says, this is one of my children, Arba Banim de Petirah. This is one of the 4 children of Hashem, the 4 sons of Hashem. And he was zoicha to come into such a home that went and developed him and raised him mamish lamala, raised him in every way. There, Moshe and Risa are an example for parents, what you do for children, together with all the other chashuvah children that they have, the sons and daughters, every one of them. Chashuvim. But here, this holy neshama, the Rabbi Hashem is masaka them. with such a beautiful neshama. You saw it was shining from him. This beautiful neshama to at pesachlo, you open it up. Bring out what you can from the person. Bring out what you can. Such a holy neshama leaves this world in Chodesh Nisan. Kol Beis Yisrael yivkus esreifa shestoref Hashem. We'll miss Menachem. We'll miss Menachem. Every time he came to the Beis Medrash, we'll miss him. We'll miss him. The pure neshama, every time he gave me his hand, and I was able to touch his hand, his holy hands, Friday night still. His holy hands of such a holy neshama. Ashrei Yoladatoi, At Pesachloi, the parents who did so much for him. Parents who said, sure, when he goes up to Shemayim now, this holy neshama goes up to Shemayim and says, look what parents could do for a child. Look what my parents did for me. I'm sure in Shemayim he's going to go and be mishtadel and everything possible that Moshe Risa should have only nachas from all the children, from every one of the children. Emes gezinte nachas, lebedige nachas. His neshama should go up to be Melitz Yosher, for be a pure neshama like that for Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael, we're waiting. When Rabbi Shalom comes and brings Klal Yisrael together for Simchas, and he's going to go up to Shemayim. He saw what we live in this world, and he saw what kind of pure world we could have. If there was anyone pure, this was Menachem, was the pure neshama. Let the neshama of Menachem Chaim Zev, then Rabbi Shmuel Zazan gesinnt, his neshama should leicht weiter and weiter for all of us in Klal Yisrael, and together we should be zeicha to bring the Korban Pesach this year. Even though we can't have the Tahara, but it's brought Batuma, which is Zoicha to see the Biyas HaGoyel, and Zoicha to see Tchis HaMeisim V'Her V'Yamein.
I think you practice something and you won't cry, you'll be composed. No, it doesn't work that way. Thank you to Hashem for 22 years of taking care of our Menachem Chaim Zev. Every single minute was an honor and a kavod to take care of every one of his needs and of this precious neshama. Thank you to my wife Risa. Non-stop care, devotion, decision-making. It's mamish mekayim v'nafsho kishur b'nafshay. She was so attached. She was mamish so attached. Thank you to the family, the mishpacha, Michal, Tzipi, Yossi, Menashe, Hadassah, Yisrael, and Yehuda, for your non-stop unconditional love. And to your families, you all helped raise Menachem. Bubby and Zeta, Menachem loved you. And to our siblings, you were always comforting and caring. Rabbi Lowy, when Menachem was born, the Rav was in the hospital with us right away. Came right after davening. And the Rav was there, his mamish like a cedar to help us to fall back on everything. And Baruch Hashem, throughout his life, he was there to guide us and to give us comfort. And now, sadly, one day we'll find out. One day Ani Yosef will find out everything. Why? We thank the countless surgeons, doctors, therapists, teachers, aides, PSW, from Zarenu starting to Eitz Chaim, to Drury Public School, to Friendship Circle, to Yachad, to Rena, and to Danny. Yesterday morning, when we woke up and we saw Menachem, and Hatzalah came immediately, and they've been by our house. They've been by our house. Shui, Avrami, Hanan, Rabbi Rubelo, and we knew the sad news. Rabbi Rubelo is a cousin, a kohen, and he ran out of the house. We knew. The chevra here, Boo Boo, Shloimi, take care of everything. Just take care of everything. Shol, Kol HaKol HaKadosh Hazeh. Menachem was yours. He was what? He was here. He grew up here. Miss Oskim came, just taking care of everything. He took over and took care of everything. Tremendous hakaras hatov. Our minion downstairs and upstairs, they loved Menachem. He was considered the Agudas family. He was considered Toronto's family. A maisa that happened this past Friday night in Shul, right over here. So Menachem, of course, he opens up his siddur, and he always says, Ani, Ani. Opens up to Maida Ani. But when I came back in from Shemona Esrei in here, for the first time in my life I ever saw this, he picked up his siddur, he stood up, and he held the siddur up. And I smiled. You want to say Shemona Esrei too? Little did I know, that was a hint to what was happening that night. We talk about quality of life, his quality of life. You don't mention his quality of life. It's the quality of how he affected our life, how he changed us, all of us. People were inspired by Menachem. He touched everybody's neshama. Whether he caused them to make brachas or he caused another family, a husband and wife, to hug their kids more, knowing what they have. He gave that lesson. That's what he did. Hashem Nisan, Hashem Lokach. With so many things in his life, we give such hakaras hatov, kol neshima v'neshima tahallel ko hallelujah. We have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for every minute, every day that we had him. And what is his favorite song? Of course, Tov L'Hodos Lashem. We would sing it, Tov L'Hodos La, and he would finish Shem. This was Menachem. The mitzvahs, brachas, ata, ata. That's what we have to learn. That's what we have to take away. Lashon Hara, he never said Lashon Hara. And what was his favorite song? Miho Isha Chafetz Chaim. That was his favorite song as well. And from Sunday on, he said Shabbos, 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 and he was taken away on Shabbos. It was the biggest Shabbos Hagadol in our lives. He was taken away on Shabbos. We asked Menachem Mechila, in case Chas v'Shalom there was any time that we made him feel uncomfortable, because we had to give him special medicines to make him get better. The Rav said it, we're going to miss Menachem. We're going to miss him, but the ikr is that he should live on. He should live on. It's Menachem's room, brachas, and that's the ikr. He should live on. If each and every one of us can take a minuscule, whether it's a bracha, one bracha to say better, whether it's Shabbos, to be more ilkehiten b'Shabbos, one small thing like that. Ani, Ani, Moida Ani. Menachem, please be a melitz yosher for our family, and your family was Klal Yisrael, Toronto, for all of Toronto. Please be a melitz yosher. Please, you know what's needed. You know, everybody in our shul, you know what's needed. Thank you once again. Kahal, a good Yisrael. Thank you for for everything. Bila Amavis Lanetzach Umocha Hashem Elikim Dima Meyal Kol Ponim. The Rosh Kollel Reb Shea Fear, and then two of my sons.
We have in front of us the Mesilas Yeshurim. In front of us, Sifrei Misa on the highest level. Person learns a Sefer Misa, he becomes inspired for the moment. Avada, like the Ageres and Ramban says, you stop, you close the Sefer, you make a Cheshbon Nefesh. What one can take out from this, but when you see it alive, when you see it, Beresh Galai, in front of your eyes, how Yidden could live a Sefer Misa in every step. In the Chushev of Moshe, his Chushev of Bnei Bayis, the Mama, Tate Mama for Menachem, his siblings grew up day after day. And we see how a family took this what HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent. It's a lesson. It's a Misa Sefer, an open Misa Sefer for all of us, for each and every one of us, in every aspect of life. How one should take things. Hashguchem and Hashemayim. Mekisha, to be connected in every way. To try to connect, to take a lesson from every step. Zois toira su oilu hi oilu am moigtu, ala mizbayach kol alaylu, der Chaim HaKudosh zukt. Ala mizbayach is referring to a yid. The person was created from the Ufer, from Tachas HaMizbayach zukt Rashi. We all are beprinnes Mizbayach. We all, each and every one, was sent with a tachlis and with a tafkit. And the chaydik of that, the selba voide von dem Kolben. Lasa is nachher es riach, liyotzraini. To remember we're here for one shlichus. Lasa is nachher es riach, liyotzraini. As mentioned before, the Rufs is angesinnt. What higher level can we see? When a Neshama was sent from Hashemayim, Tata Demand had gelebt mit dem Shabbos. Ka echsoif noyam Shabbos. And the Neshama went back. Al Taches Kampay Ashchine in Shabbos Kodesh. Menachem was mashlim everything that he needed in this world. His tafkid is ba'oifen shula ma'oit. A limit for us to take out something from this. We have a big tafkid. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us koyach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the ability to talk. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the ability to listen. we have ears, we have eyes. How much can we take out a lesson of these pure eyes that Menachem could look into a person when we came over to say good Shabbos? He looked into you. Reine Augen, lechtige Augen, heilige Augen. Cheshma Nefesh. Sie mein Nisan. Sefar kommen Peisach. Wir sitzen bei einer Seite. Wir kamen an der Mitzvah and Sippi Yetzias Mitzrayim. And a person takes out from this ganze avoide how we can go out of Mitzrayim. Each one and every one of us go out of his own Mitzrayim. If Moshe and his Bnei Bayis and his family, Menachem's siblings, were able to show what it means, Zan Aros von Mitzrayim, but having nicht gewesen as leicht. Sie nicht gewesen as leicht. Moshe redt also mit der Breitkeit Buch Hashem, mit der Simche. Aber mir weiß man sehr geht. It's the way they took it. The Boine Shlom should not send nobody such an Nisayan. But when the Nisayan comes, Hashem should give us the koich. Everybody has his little points. There's nobody on this world who's got us the Galatikite, überall scheppet sich unetwas. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give all of us the koich to be able to go out of the Mitzrayim. Menachem should be the one who inspired us and continue to inspire us. NESHAMA should inspire us to remember. Ayid kann oben, kann dienen dem Eibischten in allem Matzuvim. Der Beschäfer soll helfen. Menachem should be a Meilitz Yosha for his Tate, for his Mama, for his Brüder and Schwesters, für die ganze Mishpuch, für die ganze Kehille, als die alle sollen können dienen dem Eibischten besimche. Wir sollen uns ausleisen für Mitzrayim, ausleisen für Gule, so können dienen, mit keiner Keigen Mashiach zu keinem. Ich will haben, was man nicht sagen, muss Hashem dir noch kaufen.
Just a few memories, and start off by thanking the Rebbeinu Shalom for giving us Menachem and the bracha that he gave to our family. Sometimes it wasn't easy, but there was bracha there. So much to learn, so much to gain from him. Take advantage. It's a little bit out of order, but I'll say it anyways, the way it's going to go about. Start off when Menachem was born, someone said to my mother, it's possible someone put an ayin har on you while you're expecting. And I said to my mother, no one put an ayin har on you even while you're expecting. It wasn't the case. Someone put on you an ayin taiva. And sometimes when it's bad, we just don't realize it. But now, standing here, more than ever, my father said, Kol HaKadosh, I said, the whole community, the whole Toronto, possibly so many people in New York who were watching this. Everyone was affected by Menachem. You know, he was an ayin taiva and just so much to learn from him. He brought a certain amount of happiness that we needed. There's a famous shmooze I once time heard from a friend. He said, why didn't he daven to Hashem to heal him when he had the list? Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the biggest Baal, you could down for anything. Hashem always accepted his tefillas. And the Torah says, he said, I got recorded from is because to remember the nes. After Menachem had the incident in Camp Hask, when after Baruch Hashem, when he was saved for the drowning at Hashem, his chazir, tuvay, and his goodness, he gave us all these extra years with Menachem. But he had this little thing. He had certain things that were affected from the drowning. And, you know, we always said, why does he have it? It's to remember the nes that Hashem did for us. That's why, you know, people, sometimes people wonder, even I myself wonder, how much did Menachem really understand? How much did he know? My parents came to Camp Hask and I saw the pictures of Menachem's excitement, the excitement he had. That explained it all. He knew enough, you know. Like a malach, which how my sister Michal said, the way he lived, the way Friday night, Shabbos Hagadol, the Shabbos, when he was niftyar like a malach in his tahara, like he needed a tahara. Menachem, he never did an aveira. He got brachas. We took him to get brachas. If only we could have got brachas from him. It was like a tzaddik. His whole life, he helped us work on our midos. To appreciate, like Abba, you just said, like the things that Hashem gave us. He was to go on about Menachem. He was a tzaddik who had many yisurim. There was a kapara, and that's what we lost. The chama I have is that no one is going to ever be able. We're thinking about which down the line what's going to be with Menachem, and obviously Hashem, you decided that you want only two people to take care of Menachem. Thank you, Ima, for telling me that last night. You want only two people to take care of it. Hashem want only two people. He entrusted you and Abba. Like I told you, Iman, on your birthday this week, when you sent me the picture, that's what you are with Menachem. Me, myself, even though I lived out of town, but growing up, so many beautiful pictures of him. I was fortunate to be there for him, and I was able to just do puzzles with him on his level, just to play with him, to read for him, take him rollerblading a little bit, color with him, work a little on his fine motor skills. Just going down memory lane. He's part of the downstairs minion, just like everyone knew Menachem had his chips. He also needed to have his kichon herring. He was part of the downstairs minion, last Shabbos, like every Shabbos, I asked you who's coming for Shabbos. And you answered 3 malachim. 2 malachim. Ima, Menachem. This Shabbos, Menachem, Hashem gave Menachem a kiss and said, I love you. And your parents did so good for you, and they want you. I want you back. To end off, Menachem right now, I'm just going to read the speech, the thing I sent on his birthday to my parents, the letter I sent a few years ago with a few touches and additions. But right now, Menachem is having his chuppah now in Shemaim with Hashem. I could tell you that he could talk as much as he wants now, and he could learn like no tomorrow. So I'm going to read the letter. Just add it on a little bit. This is dated 2020. Dear Menachem, Iman, Abba, and family. 19 years ago, 2001, January 7th, Hashem surprised our family with a very special present. This present would continuously grow and mature with every little challenge that he had to endure. Menachem Chaim Zev was the name given at your bris, giving us and those who know you a real special chiyas. It's actually no coincidence that Abba and Ima chose the name Chaim, for it alludes to the nes that Hashem did for you when he pulled you out and Kapas from the Mayim. Every step of the way in your life, Menachem, we saw Yad Hashem in your growth, always taking Hashem with your favorite song, Tov Lahodos. No, like Abba, you said before, no coincidence, his favorite song, Miha Ish. To be in your element, Menachem, all you needed was some pizza and shul, a bag of chips. You never find someone more happy than he. Some of your favorite words, daven, shul, kiddush, and havdalah. Shabbos means so much to you, to your neshama. A Shabbos a Shabbos meant so much to you, to your pure neshama, Yisera. Menachem, you set the bar for us. When it came to saying a bracha, taking Hashem for everything with your own very special kavana, you were very adamant that we answer Amen, making sure that we glorify Hashem's name. I felt, and I'm to Hashem that Menachem, I'm so lucky to have you as a brother. You have impacted my life. You impacted my life in one way or another. The line was, now that we celebrate your birthday at 19, but we'll change it. Now that you're with Hashem, the King of all kings, Mashiach, Mirz Hashem, this year you will bring and we witness Yeshua. Instead of HaMasiach Ilmi, because you can already talk, we'll witness Yeshua's Tchias HaMesim, and all of Hashem's praises. Together we will sing So thank you, Iman Abba. You pump so much of your lives into Menachem 24/7. Like Abba, you said, every single breath you took. May you be zeicha to see, may we be zeicha to see NESHAMA. And last of all my siblings, every single one of you, such a part of him. You gave over to him in such a special way, your own way, and we all cared so much for him. That's it.
"22 years ago, when my beautiful and holy brother first joined our family, someone sent my parents an article, story. It said and describes how having a child with special needs with Down syndrome is like planning a trip to Italy. You plan, you research, you buy the guidebooks, you learn the language, and you get excited and you count down until your trip. You have every detail mapped out, and you're determined to make it the greatest trip ever. The day arrives, you get on the plane lands, and you're all excited, and the stewardess tells you, "Welcome to Holland." And you're thinking to yourself, I planned for Italy, and now this is Holland. And you're faced with a choice. You can complain about how miserable your life is and how your trip got completely ruined. Or you can realize it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just a different place. And you can choose to experience it. And lo and behold, the more you embrace your trip, the more you realize how special it is. Our whole family and our whole community has been to Holland now. And we've all been able to experience firsthand how special it is. Anyone who was able to interact with Menachem saw how special he was and what a special neshama he had. A neshama that is pure as his doesn't come down for his own tikkun, but rather to be masakin those around him. And that's what happened for my family and the community. We rose up when we came to Salah through him. I wouldn't even be able to begin to list the examples of, the list would be endless. On a personal note, being Menachem's brother helped me, shape me into the person I am today. Teaching me what the real purpose of life is, to give and never stop giving. And nobody was able to absorb that message more than my parents. By Menachem's bar mitzvah, there was a blackout, it was an ice storm, and the whole community came together to make sure the bar mitzvah happened. My brother Yehuda spoke and said that my parents always compare their job as Menachem to people that their job is to polish diamonds. And Hashem had the most special diamond, and he entrusted it to the best diamond polishers. He has. And only my Chashuva parents know just how pure and special this diamond was. And only Hashem knows just how much my parents devoted and cared for him. A special neshama. Menachem's pure neshama. Menachem the diamond. We've all been to Holland now. Let's continue doing what Menachem wants us to do, to be givers. Menachem, let's be my chuppy. Menachem, be a meditation for me and my family. family and to the whole community and to all of Klal Yisrael.
Who will take place at this time of so the Shabbos in the morning is at 7:30. More at there'll be a 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And night is at 7:35.
Women are not going out.
NESHAMA not going out to the basic club. We ask everybody to wait for the family to go first.
Good afternoon to all those who have joined us on Zoom. First of all, thank you on behalf of family, Goddess Yisrael, and Saskia for taking out the time to join as best as possible. We will not be going to the Feld to show any pictures from the Feld. However, we will be being allowed the Oren until the end of the block. They announced that Shachris is at 7:30 and Mincha Mariv at 7:25. And Tuesday, Mincha is at 2 o'clock. If anyone wishes to send the family a message, you can certainly use the chat function and send a message. We'll see that the family does get a copy of it. At this point, we're waiting for the Oren to leave the base of Medrash, and we will follow it on the street. No, they're waiting. And if we lose the picture for a moment, you could stay with it until we reset. Thank you. In Shiva, they do that before they go to the cemetery. And it's again, we try to keep serious and it's done in private. It's done in private, and then will be taken out of the shul into the place, into the cemetery. Once again, for everybody on Zoom, we appreciate all those writing messages to the family. Please continue to do so. Now, those who are on Zoom, even if you're malava, the urn with your eyes, it's considered part of the mitzvah. Rabbi Mrs. Blaustein, Chabad Kaddish, Agudas Yisrael, and Nisaskin. I want to thank all of you who are joining us on Zoom. I have to personally add that as many Zoom devices as I've done over the last 3 years, this is most likely the biggest crowd that has joined. And I think it's a testament to the Blausteins, and not only how they treated the special Neshama Menachem, but how they live their lives on a regular basis. I imagine that all of you have a story, one way or the other, about something that you learned from Rabbi or Mrs. Blaustein, not only in Toronto, but I could see from the various places that you all called in or Zoomed in to be part of it. I think you saw Rabbi Blaustein's NESHAMA on display as much as you saw and felt Menachems. Once again, please use this moment to send a message of thank you, of remembrance that you have about the Blausteins and visit to the family. We will leave the room open for another 10 minutes. Please identify yourself as your actual name, not just an iPhone, Moshe's iPhone or Galaxy 6, but the actual name itself. Thank you. Hag Kosher Sameach. Should be a month of Petirah and deserves titles.